This program is part of the Scene Project's podcast network. The Scene Project features interviews with independent musicians, comedians, and artists from across the Midwest. Become part of our community and support local art wherever you are. Welcome into this exciting episode of Real Biz. I'm your host, Bubba Startz, and with me today is the CEO and founder of Red Room Distribution, Lee Brown. Lee, welcome to the show, brother. You're on mute.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me now?
We got you.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, man. We were having too much fun just doing the discovery call. I said, what the hell? Let's get it. Before we get too far into everything, we got a lot to cover, obviously, with the services and things that you provide with Red Room. But off the top here, I kind of just want to give you the floor. Give us a little bit of your backstory. I knew you were an artist before and you worked, high level industry, and now you're kind of in this different position here with your own company. So the floor is yours, man. Give us a little bit of the 411 on Lee Brown.
All right. So, yeah, I started music back when I was real young. And actually, I was rock and heavy metal. Jumped from there into hip hop, toured, traveled, performed everywhere. And now as I got older, the business side meant more to me than being on stage. A lot more fun to me and watching everybody grow. So here we are now. At Red Room Distribution, what we do is we pitch music. So we pitch to booking agents, labels, managers, promoters, playlists, radio, video games, movies. So yeah, we do it all. So that's a little bit about us. And we started back in like 2019 or so.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. So you've been out here. You'll be celebrating a decade before too long. I'm sure that's got to be kind of surreal looking back. We're a relatively new company here with the Scene Projects, and we haven't even been around 2 years, but we've experienced this massive growth, over 1,500 uploads on the YouTube channel last year, 360,000 views, like just a massive amount of attention and zero ad spend. Right? Like all of it was just done by massive creation and posting it and not worrying about like industry norms. Oh, well, you got to just stick to a cadence and, only release one episode a week. I think on our network right now, we have like 7-8 episodes a week that are coming out in some fashion somewhere. And it was bucking that trend that I think has really set us apart. And now you see it and you're like, holy cow, like, yeah, and most of it came after we got the Content Creator of the Year award. I felt like the award wasn't a payment for services rendered. It was kind of the starting gun, right? Like, here you go. All right, see what you can do with this. And it's allowed me to reach now up into the industry. Artist myself, Lee, rock and country music, indie rock, I guess it used to be. Now a little more, not necessarily twang, but a little bit of that kind of Americana bent. And I think it's just the nature of being a Midwestern artist that you're going to be influenced by a lot different things than, more urban based artist, right?
Yep. There's more than corn in Indiana.
Yeah, well, you guys are going to be busy here too. The NFL Draft Combine will be coming to town before too long. We cover the Vikings with our sports network, so maybe trying to work some credentials with the NFL. I covered a PGA Tour event last year, and I'm kind of familiar with the credentialing process for some of these bigger places now. So yeah, trying to reach in, and I haven't been through Indianapolis in a long time. I mentioned we were from the Chicago area, but I'd love for you to kind of describe a little bit of what a music distribution service like yours does. Now, we know that you take the songs and you put them out, but I have assumed that, because being in this space a little bit now, that a lot of what you're doing early on with artists is in more of the consulting side and kind of helping them get their poop in a group, if you will, to keep it PG-13. But, talk about like that process of finding someone with good music, possibly, regardless of their followers, because I know you work with people that have a small follower base. So you found the music, but what's the process to kind of get them ready for distribution?
Yeah, so when we meet with an artist, like I said, we have artists that have millions and we have artists that have single digit numbers. But you always have to, if you go with an artist with a single digit number, you kind of have to consult them, let them understand the game plan, let them understand there's a blueprint and how to, succeed in their goals. It don't happen overnight. It does. Sometimes it does happen overnight, but very, very often does not.
No, well, and I think that's something that everybody wants to go viral, right? And then you see it and you're like, yo, my God, that went there. Very rarely does a person make one video and that video goes to millions of views, right? Like it doesn't happen that way. What you're seeing the tip of the iceberg of maybe decades of work to get to that point and to have that moment, right?
Yes.
Sometimes it happens. For some artists, they never get that moment like that, but they can still build a career and a following off of a lot of smaller spikes and plateaus and reaching into new communities and growing their fan base incrementally over time rather than a million followers overnight.
Yeah, if you try for 1 million followers overnight, you're probably going to fail 98% of the time. And if you stick with a game plan and know there is some structure, you'll succeed. It might not be tomorrow, but you will win at some point.
So you're obviously reaching out into booking agents. So you're helping people find an agent possibly. And it seems like, and especially with kind of how your company is structured, where it's not fee based, it's percentage based, that the 20% is a pretty typical manager level.
Yes.
Do you feel like you kind of fit in that manager role a little bit more without maybe like the business side of it?
Some contracts, we facilitate, and some we don't. If they already have a manager, great. But if they ask us to sit in, we definitely will. So yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of management aspect because honestly, everything we're pitching to could have been done years ago or whenever. It's just nobody's done it. So then we come in and let the artist see how it really works.
Yeah, I'm realizing a lot. Shout out to Music Mogul AI and Brad Stewart. He's been just a wealth of information for me. I kind of let my career musically go. I did record an EP last year with some friends just to kind of get some of these songs out of my head. But the podcast had become the most important thing a while back, right? Like I had gone on tour and gone out for a little bit. Will you stop? Jeez, cats, man. At least yours not crawling. Oh, there he is. It's like they heard one another.
Yeah.
The music industry, not necessarily chew me up and spit me out. I was getting paid very well to go out and play on the road, but I'm almost 40, man. Like I just didn't have the love for it. And I found more of a love in having conversations and supporting other artists than I did for that. So your story really kind of went on a similar arc with mine in there, that like celebrating other people's wins makes me feel just as good. And I don't have to put in all the work of going out and performing in the setups and teardowns and late nights and like all of that stuff anymore. I'm just not built for it, man.
Yeah, right. And you just don't worry about the critics. So if there's a critic out there dogging somebody else's music, hey, we're the distributor. That's between y'all, not me and them. Now I ain't got to worry about that stress and pressure anymore.
Yeah, well, it just removes all of that. What keeps you going in this industry? Is it just the wins? Is it working with other artists? Is it getting exposed to new music and just kind of always being kind of on that cutting edge of what's coming?
Honestly, a lot of bit of everything. Because honestly, like video games, we find out video games years in advance. Movies, long time in advance, probably a year or so. So just seeing other people win and being able to pitch it, and then if you get 10 no's, but there's that one yes means more to you than anything.
So you're going to be lucky if it's only 10 no's to get one yes.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, absolutely. But then, we sadly have had artists who've come, we've helped them out, and they've got booking agent deals. And then the booking agent will call me and be like, yo, look, we can't work with them. They won't contact, there's no communication. And that hurts people too, because they think, oh, I got a booking agent or a label or whatever, they work on my time now. No.
No, if anything, it's a strategic partnership, right? You have to be working so that the agents or the distributors have something to bank on. If you think that somebody's going to come and save you or make your career for you, I don't think that was ever the case, but it maybe looked like it for some of these big national acts of the 80s and 90s. But that dream's been dead for a long time, man.
Yeah, and some artists, they have the heart. but it's easier to talk about their dreams on paper than it is to actually put in the work. And we have investigation teams. I investigate. We only work as hard as the artist. So if we're distributing and you're like, hey, I want to be pitched to record labels or whatever, we're going to your pages, going everywhere you are to make sure you're actively working and not just in the club popping bottles.
Yeah, I've been discussions I've had with other artists, like you think people aren't watching you. You want everyone to look at your page for your music, but then on that same page, you're out on a Tuesday afternoon sipping tequila on,
Yes.
Margarita Tuesday, right? Like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And people aren't going to want to work with you, right?
Yeah,
Like if you're about partying on a Tuesday afternoon, I'm not interested. That was a breaking point for me where I was like, yeah, bro, we can't work together. You're not good for my brand because that's not what I'm about, right?
Yes.
I'm about the work. I'm about staying on my grind. Look at we're filming this on a Saturday. This on a weekend. We are out here working and still grinding. I've been on the computer connecting with people on LinkedIn for 3 hours already today. Like it never sleeps. If you don't have that hunger, you're never going to make it because there's a million people behind you that are going to want it more.
And that's the thing. We have a lot of big artists, and I've not went to the club one time to meet any of them artists. I've literally met them through social media, stuff like that. Like some of the biggest artists we have, I've sent a message on social media before we even jumped on the phone, just say, hey, what's up? And that's how the conversation. So why can't, normal artists, if they don't want to label or a big distribution company, do that themselves instead of being at the club popping bottles? So when we see you at the club popping bottles or whatever, how else you want to say it, we're like, oh, he's out networking. Even though we know you're not, that's just the thing. We just say, because every time we say something to an artist, they're like, I was networking. With who?
Yeah. With who? Like, your network is your net worth. I mean, we're not the first ones to say that. And if your network is a bunch of people out partying Wednesday through Saturday when they can't afford it anyway, I don't even know who can afford to party anymore, or who really enjoys drinking that much. I think the world has changed. We're about this grind. Especially here at the Scene Projects, Music Mogul AI, Red Room Distribution. Like if you ain't grinding with us, we ain't interested, because ultimately one bad apple like that can be bad for the whole brand and can bring down a lot of work that's been done.
Yep. So, I mean, even as an artist, you have to protect everybody on your team because if that person's out, you need to pull them back because that's a representation of themselves. You can't have somebody out doing that or out messing around somewhere doing something stupid if they're part of your team, because that's going to be a reflection of you every time.
Curious as to some of the nitty gritty parts of it, right? When you are finding an artist and maybe they already have a booking agent, maybe this is a bigger artist, right? Is it mostly inside of your existing network of movie people and video game people that you're kind of going to and saying, hey, I know you got this project going on. We think this would be right. Is it very targeted pitching, or is it more kind of cold reach out still for you at this point in your career? I mean, you're in 8-9 years. So
yeah, so we still have our normal contacts. But every day there's new video game developers. Just met a kid, actually, is probably 22 years old, just created a new app for your phone. And so even little things like that. And then we have big video games who every time they change the developer, we have to repitch the music. So kind of puts a damper in things. But yeah, we still do cold calling. We still do everything because no matter how many people there's always other people you have not met yet.
Yeah, working with EA doesn't mean that you're working with the same people every time. Every new video game has its own crew. Every iteration of a new game has its own crew and new people rolling over. And I'm sure the turnover at a lot of these places is fairly high as well.
Oh, it is very high. So there's a big famous game coming out next December. I can't really mention the name. Obviously, a lot of people know about it. But we've had to pitch that video game probably 8-9 times. I'm not joking. Like, I'm so sick of the game. When it comes out, I'm not even going to get
it. Oh, that's funny.
That's how it is.
Different world.
Yeah, we have a lot of executives reaching out to us like, hey, we're looking for music like this. Do you have something like this? And we actually have an artist with us who He's growing. He's a one-man band. And every time I go to him for a video game or movie, I'm like, hey, I need a song like this. He creates it. And he's a rock artist. So he'll get on the drums, guitar, bass, vocals, everything, create it himself, and then stuff like that. So like I know his heart is where it's supposed to be. He's an
Well, and
artist.
knowing your niche, if you got those kind of skills, right,
Yes.
and you're not necessarily you're creating for, not necessarily for the paycheck, but you can bend your will at that to say, okay, cool, like let me see a clip, right? Like, what's the game like? What are we looking for? Give me some parameters to work in, and I'll go create. That's a different kind of human being. Right.
And
Like my creation is all like emotional inspiration. Right. And then I like go write a song about it. It's not, being able to go, okay, you want a rock song. Maybe it's in like, we need it to be between this kind of meter. Right. We need to be in this. It needs to be in this vein. This is what they're looking for.
Yep.
We don't have that yet. Go make it.
Yeah. The artist I'm talking about, his name is Jesse Stewart, and y'all should check him out if you haven't. He don't have a whole lot of followers right now, but he's wanting to build. And like I said, no matter where, when I go to him, like we're on the phone constantly, usually a couple times a week, discussing what they're looking for. And he's like, hey, if you can use it, you can use it. If you can't, you can't. But he makes sure every single time there's something to be pitched, he has a song that can go in that, section to pitch. And if they choose it, they choose it. If they don't, they don't. But at least he had something.
Yeah, that guy's a gold mine for you, because when he does start hitting and does get a name for himself, everybody's going to want, we want Jesse. Right? We want Jesse. What can Jesse do this? Can Jesse do that? So it's all about like building up and this whole time of his creation, even if you don't use it for that game or that movie, it may be used later. So you're just pumping up this catalog full of like, that's a great relationship for you. I got a couple guys I want to introduce you to that can.
Yeah, Jesse's an amazing guy, and I wish every artist had that heart, but sadly it's not true. But a lot of artists do have the same heart. It's just different type of genre. Like he does.
Well, you got to be able to do it too, right? You have to be kind of multi-instrumentalist and can create at a high level. You got to be able to probably do it at home, very cheap and efficiently, to be able to do that. So it takes a special kind of artist to be able to accomplish that.
And Jesse, he has this whole song done in probably an hour every time.
That's wild, man.
He stops what
it took me a year to do a 5-song EP, Lee.
And we just released Jesse's new song called Mom. Sadly about his mom passing away. But the song is amazing. It's a rock song. It's not slow like you'd think. I encourage everyone to go listen to it.
Yeah, well, and you're going to get me his information because we want to have him on the show. I would love to get his kind of version of this story too, right? Of that creation and what it means. Well, and knowing that any one song could be a little payday, but because of that game, it could become massive, or that movie, or you know what I mean? Like think of My Heart Will Go On, right? Like Celine Dion was pretty big already. That song made her an international superstar. And I don't know if you get the song without the movie. Right. Like, I don't know how that story necessarily came about, but it doesn't become big if the movie isn't a global, like if the movie was in some B-rate thing, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, we have songs that are big in movies, but are not big on Spotify, but they're selling really well in the movies, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And some artists like, why is that? I'm like, that's part I can't really, talk about. I have no idea.
So what kind of tech are you working with? Do you have software that you kind of plug into that you take these songs that kind of build out the metadata or work inside of those? I know there's some sites like Disco and some other things. Sync Lodge is another one out there for global sync licensing and collection of royalties. I actually know Lionel Lodge. I've gotten to have a couple meetings with him lately. So shout out to Lionel. He's an amazing individual with a really huge software and some great things coming down the line. But for a guy like you, those things have to be pivotal in the actual work of getting these songs out there or finding more work.
They are, and this is what people don't realize too. Sadly, every company has, that one bad apple, and we track everything. So if we say we pitched to something, we have the validation of proof that we did it. And that's the thing, is always validating. We don't like word of mouth. So if you want something to pitch to a label, I'm gonna make sure you see a document of some sort that is showing that it's at least sent over there.
Yeah, you're like, I talked to him.
Yeah. See, I just can't.
Take my word for it.
Right. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's kind of how we break everything down, and hopefully, We have a lot of artists now, but I'm always wanting more. Obviously, that's just me.
Yeah, well, and as long as you're able to keep them pitching, keep them working, and keep making money, like there is really no level to what you can do because the tech's only going to get better, man. AI's here, brother. It's got to make you even that much more efficient at what you're doing. Being able to open up and work with more artists. Now you're not able to maybe have that personal relationship with 10,000 artists, but you can be working for that many and trying to keep up and, you know, forming some kind of social media group or something to put them in to connect one to many. But yeah, it's got to be, the world seems to be probably opening up for you now with AI, with the tech
Yeah.
platforms like a Music Mogul AI and things that are coming around that are going to open up more doors to where you don't necessarily have to communicate with as many individual companies. You can kind of go to one source and be connected to them.
Well, this is the thing too. Communication is a big part. Other distros, you send an email, you don't hear back for 2 days, right? Over here, every single artist that's ever asked me for my phone number, I've given it to them because I appreciate them being with us. So if they need to call me, just ask me a question. And we have a lot of over thousands. But anytime one of them artists have ever asked me, here you go. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be in the position I am.
Right. You might not be calling them every day and saying what's up and checking on them. You shouldn't have to. You should assume they're working, but you're available to these artists when they need you and have a question.
Yep, they can email me or call, text, anything, anytime they want. And like I said, we have thousands, but I mean, not all of them have my numbers. They're not all asked, but the ones that do, absolutely get it.
Yeah, well, don't show them this episode. Everybody's going to want your number now, Lee.
Hey, it's totally fine. Honestly, like I just appreciate so many artists that if all 10,000 had it, it wouldn't bother me.
No, well, and with a roster that big, you're bound to have some winners, right? You're bound. Every song has a place, and really, that's what the distribution is to find that place for that song. And not all of them are going to be massive paydays, right? I mean, I know some sync can go upwards of tens of thousands of dollars. Most of them are probably much lower. What would you say, like the average sync placement is for you? Is it a few $1,000s? Is it maybe a little bit more than that? Or is it, you know, a few $100s? I don't feel bad about my cats jumping on screen with me now.
So it varies actually. Like an amateur artist coming into the game, about 10,000 finder fee for them.
That's not terrible for a newer artist that just had a song that worked for the moment. Man, that's freaking payday, right? Like maybe it's not, you're not quitting your day job yet, but a few of those a year totally changes the trajectory of an artist's career.
And it's very easy to actually achieve it. So, you know, and I don't want to say just 10, it's usually between 10 and 20 is what the average is now, is what the artists are getting per, you know, and that's not including back end royalties and all that stuff. That's just to place your song in the movie.
That's crazy, man. People are losing out on so much money. All these artists. I'm glad we talked today, Lee. This episode is going to be going out real soon. I want to include you on some of our creator conferences. We're going to be going throughout the Midwest. Maybe you can come down and see us in Nashville in March. And we're going to do a conference and have some people. I think it'd be invaluable for you connecting with more artists, but also for us being able to educate artists and build out this network of what we're doing and growing this community. Like it kind of said, the Scene Projects is the Hoover, right? Sucking up all these artists, right? Bringing them all into this ecosystem so that each one of them can kind of find their home and to get on that merry-go-round, and wherever you fall off is probably where you were meant to be.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. And every day we're working. Every hour I'm awake, I'm usually working.
I don't know anything else, brother.
Right. Yeah. So if any artist ever question, what's Lee doing? Oh, trust me, Lee's on the computer, or Lee's in a meeting, or Lee.
Yeah, man, we all got one of these to walk around with too, bro. Like we're always available. I have to force myself to like, okay, I'm with the wife and kids, right? Like,
exactly.
Disturb. And even then, I'm like thinking about it. Like I pick it up 3 times in that time, and I'm like, no,
right.
No, I'm taking this hour to spend with the family.
Yeah, no, it's sometimes it does get, you know, kind of sucks sometimes when you're with your kids, because I'm single, but I have 2 kids. My son's 20 or almost 20, and my daughter's 14, getting ready to be 15. So
she don't want to hang out with you anyway, huh?
Yeah, she's just that age where friends are everything, you know. So
Yeah. Well, Lee, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you, where they can get into Red Room Distribution, get some of these artists on a call with you and pitching their music and you know, putting you to work. And then I hope you can stick around for a few minutes after. You know what? I'd like to take advantage of the time I have with you, play a couple of my songs for you and see what you think.
Absolutely. We can definitely do that. So you can find me at redroomdistro.com, or you can go to any social media and type in at Red Room Distro, from, you know, LinkedIn to Instagram, everywhere. Facebook at Red Room Distro.
Yeah, well, we're going to connect with you everywhere and be sharing your stuff out there with the world as well. And man, really appreciate you taking some time for me on a weekend, hang out for a bit, talk some music. And yeah, thank you, Lee, for being part of the scene.
Absolutely.